NHL 23 added the ability to make your own custom leagues, so I decided to make the most cursed league possible and ruin the NHL. Sticking with 32 teams, but we decided to make 0 conferences and 0 divisions while also turning off the salary cap, so any super team that people want to build is available. I'm also not 100% sure how it works when there's 0 conferences and 0 divisions. I'm assuming just the top 16 teams in the league will make the playoffs, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Also decided to make them play 2 more games because 82 games wasn't enough, so we maxed it out at 84. I was hoping for an 100 game season, but you can only put the max to 84, which is kind of weird that they only made the max 2 more games than normal. But at least it's something different, I guess. Here's where it gets spicy. If we're looking at the NHL standings format, season tiebreaker remains the same. 5-minute, 3-on-3 overtime, then a shootout. But when you look how the system works, that's when it really changes. Regulation wins are 4 points, overtime wins are 3 points, and shootout wins are 2 points. Where an overtime loss is supposed to say 0. I don't know why I said 1. And then a shootout loss is also 0. So you have to win the game to get points. Losses give you nothing. And it also forces you to win in regulation, because if you go in overtime, that's 1 point you lost. And if you can't even win in overtime, that's another point you lost. Our league will also include playoff reseeding, which means if you're the worst seed in the playoffs, you will always face the highest seed in the playoffs, which means if the last place team in the playoffs does win, it'll be the ultimate Cinderella story. We're not going to be doing wildcard rounds. We are going to keep 16 teams in the playoffs. You can make it 32, so I'll probably do something with that later where every team just plays in the playoffs and the regular season is completely pointless. And then standings tiebreaker, regulation wins, then most goals, then least goals, and then the goal differential. We're training the players to realize that shootouts are very important, because if you lose in a shootout, you don't get any points, which is why they're so important in the playoffs that the tie break is a shootout only. No overtime, no continuous overtime. End of regulation, jump right into a shootout to determine who wins the playoff game. I think this would be the most cursed playoff format of all time. And to make it even more cursed, you have to go back and forth on a plane after every single game. 1 home game, 1 away game, 1 home game, 1 away game, 1 home game. You get the idea. Keep going back and forth for the entire series. I mean, it should build mental fortitude for the players, and I hope none of them are scared of traveling, because they're going to be doing a lot of it. You might be wondering who we're taking into this wacky league. We're going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins. So you might be thinking that's a random team to pick. Why are you picking Pittsburgh? Because EA Sports did their annual Sam to see who's going to win the Stanley Cup, and Pittsburgh Penguins came out on top. So we're going to see if they can win in my league and how it compares to the normal league. Weird looking at the team not divided in conferences or divisions. It's just in alphabetical order. This is the team we're bringing into our custom league. We got Malkin, Crosby, and Gensel on the first line, Rust, Carter, and Raquel on the second line, Zucker, Heinen, and Kapanen on the third line, and McGinn, Poling, and O'Connor on the fourth line. Defensively, we're looking at Brian Dumoulin with Chris Letang on the first line, Jeff Petrie and Ty Smith on the second line, with Marcus Peterson and Jan Ruda on the third line. So Peterson or Pedersen? I think it might be Pedersen because there's 2 T's, but I'm bad with names, which is something I think we all know by now. And in that, Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith. Before I even simmed the first preseason game, we've been offered a trade. Columbus really wants us to take their draft picks, and they really want Lindbergh, but I'm going to decline the trade, because screw them. Also, don't know how the games are going to work. Look, we're just playing so many random teams. Starting the season against San Jose, back-to-back games against Vancouver, then going back to play San Jose. Lindbergh is apparently wanted by every team in the league, but we're keeping him. You know, we're not even using him. Wait. Pause. Philip Deneau and Alex Edler for Pickering when I'm only doing 1 year. Accept trade offer, please. We're going to take that. So we have Philip Deneau on the third line and Alex Edler on our third line of defense. So I'm hoping that actually pushes us forward to win more games, which is starting to... Chicago wants Lindbergh now. No one's getting him. We're going to hide him and never use him. So Lindbergh, Minnesota wants again. Just stop. Just stop trying. He's our player. You're not getting him. Stop asking for Lindbergh. This man must be goated. Every single team wants him. I was about to say add Seattle Kraken to the list, but they want Arola, and I'm just going to keep declining. We got offered Justin Braun for Lindbergh. I'm finally accepting the trade. I will take Justin Braun on our team. Should make us better. Pizik. Oh, no, thank you. We got another. Oh, no! I just declined that. I probably should have accepted that. I'm accepting this. Jonathan Drouin. Hello. Welcome aboard. This is the team we're rocking with right now. We're a little over halfway through the season, and we've built Malkin and Crosby and Gensel, Drouin, Deneau, and Rust on the second line, Kapanen, Carter, and Raquel on the third line, and Heinen, Luger, and Zucker on the fourth line. And defensively, we got Dumoulin, Letang still, Petrie, and Smith still, but we got Alex Edler and Justin Braun on our third line of defense. Just realized we're barely in a playoff spot, and we're just out of one right now. We have to start winning, please. I think maybe our changes we made, it's not working out. It's going to be friggin' close. I don't think we're going to make it. We're in. Win. Win! If we just actually We're in, baby. I was going to say we lost in the shootout in our second last game. If we're out by 1 point, it's going to be so depressing. Why did 15 teams make it? Oh, there must be one more. Looking at the regular season stat leaders for our team, Sidney Crosby had the most goals with 30. Rust had 29. Malkin had 22. Drouin had 19. Raquel had 19. Gensel had 17. Heinen had 16. Kapanen had 16. And Carter had 14. And specifically looking at points, Crosby had 74 to lead the team. 61 for Malkin. 60 for Rust. 52 for Letang. 51 for Raquel. 49 for Gensel and Kapanen. 48 for Drouin. And 45 for Danault. Defensively, Letang led the team in goals with 13 and points with 52. The closest to him in points was Ty Smith with 29. Dumoulin had 24. Petrie had 23. Edler had 18. Ruda had 9. And then 6 for Braun. I just realized how old our defensive core is right now. 35 years old for Letang. 31 for Dumoulin. 35 for Petrie. 36 for Edler. And 32 for Ruda when he played. And then 36 for Braun as well. And then we just randomly got Ty Smith at 23 years old in there. And we're looking at goaltending. Tristan Jarry with 35 wins. I almost said goals. He definitely did not have 35 goals. 4 shutouts, a 905 save percentage, at 2.77 goals against average. 72 games played. DeSmith only playing 14 games, winning half of them. 7, 2 shutouts, a 913 save percentage, and a 2.46 goals against average. Goals-wise is insanity. Alexander Ovechkin, 64 to lead the league. 59 for Matthews, 57 for Kane, 53 for Kucherov, 47 for Marchand, 42 for Svechnikov and McKinnon, and 40 for Laine, with McDavid rounding out the top 9 with 38. Points is David Pastrnak with the most, 109 points to lead the league, 106 for Ovechkin, 104 for Marchand, 101 for Kane, 100 on the dot for McKinnon, 94 for Stamkos, 93 for Kucherov and McDavid, and 90 for Matthews. The only goalie to score a goal in the entire league was Jacob Markstrom with a whopping 1 goal. Us finishing in 15th means we basically have to play the best competition throughout the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure I seen we're playing Edmonton in the first round. That is correct. Washington finishing on top of the league with 53 wins. We can look at overtime losses. The team that affected the most was Nashville, because Nashville had 162 points with 10 overtime losses. They got 17th, missing the playoffs. And the Winnipeg Jets also had 162 points with 6 overtime losses. So if it was the regular season, like how it's supposed to be played, Winnipeg would have missed the playoffs and Nashville would have been in. But instead, Winnipeg steals the final playoff spot. Speaking of playoffs, it is time to simulate. We're going to sim every game 1 by 1, just so we can see if we can watch a playoff shootout. We're going to sim it relatively fast. First period goes to the Edmonton Oilers, Ryan McLeod scoring. At the second period, we explored Danault, Braun, Raquel, and Danault score. So 2 of our acquisitions throughout the season grant us a total of 3 goals. And the third and final period is It's a 6-2 win. Game number 2, first period, is once again 1-0 Edmonton. Connor McDavid scoring on Tristan Jarry. Second period remains 1-0. So here's where it gets fun. 8 times speed. Send the period. If we tie it and send it to a shootout, we watch the shootout. And Crosby does score on Campbell, which makes it a tie game. We get a power play. Can we bury? We cannot. It's happening. We get to watch the first ever playoff shootout. Is that right? I feel like we've never had playoff shootouts before. You know what sucks? It doesn't look like I can jump into the shootout because I'm pressing start and it's not letting me jump in.
What? What?
That is so lame. It's a custom league and I did my custom league, but I can't even watch the thing I wanted to watch the most happen. We did end up losing as well, so this is just a big L. Well, in that case, I'm not doing any sims like this. I'm very disappointed right now. I'm not even gonna lie. And it sucks even more because we lost. First period in game number 3 is Evander Kane scoring on Jarry. Second period is Nurse and Nugent Hopkins scoring. I'm just gonna sim the third, and now we're down in the series 2-1. Game number 4, it's almost a must win because we lose, we're going to be down 3-1, and we definitely don't want that. But either way, Edmonton, for the 4th game in a row, starts the game up 1-0. Luckily, we tie it in the third, and I'm going to play it out, and by in the third, I mean the second. And we're going to jump in, hopefully, if it is close at the end, which right now it's 2-1 Edmonton. Can we tie it? I would love it if we tied it and it went to shootout. Not going to happen. 6 minutes remaining. We do. Okay, no one else score. How do I pause? X. Okay, it's close still. Nobody score. No! No! I've misclicked. Are you serious?
What an idiot.
I'm actually throwing. At least we won, but I didn't get to watch it again. Dude, look how many rounds the shootout lasted. I wish we could have watched that, but I'm really dumb. Simulating. We're going to get it once. It's going to work. Just stay with me. Game 5 series is tied. 3-2 after the first. Gensel and Danault scoring. Yamamoto, McDavid, and Hyman scoring for them. Tied 4-4 at the end of the second. Okay, third time is the charm, as they say. So if it's tied this time, we're watching it, I promise. Still no score, 6 minutes remaining. Please, no one score. Nobody score. Yes, I'm gonna pause it this time. No! I mean, yes, because we scored. And then it's over. I pressed pause and it didn't pause. This is the most scuffed video of all time at this point. Either way, we did win, so that's great. I just realized that was for the whole series because the first round is a best of 5 for some reason, and it wouldn't let me change that. So luckily we did win that game, or our season would have been over. We're playing Vegas in the second round. Apparently they swept their first round, so I'm kind of nervous, but we're going to play them in a shootout. It's going to be great. We're going to win. First period is 2-1 them, though. Mayfield, who we didn't accept that trade for by accident, scores on us. That's going to come back to bite us in the butt for sure. Second period, it's tied. Jeff Carter tying the game. 8 times speed sim. I better not make this mistake again. This is third time's the charm, as long as it stays tied. They get a power play, though. Luckily, do not score on the power play. We get a power play. We don't score either. We're running out of time. This is looking good. I'm liking it. One more. Pause. Okay, I'm going to jump in with 56 seconds left. Hopefully no one scores, and hopefully we finally get to watch a playoff shootout. I'm sorry, but I paused it, and it didn't pause. Guys, I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know what's going on. Either way, we won the shootout. Let's go look at it. I'm really confused right now. It wasn't that long of one either. My brain is literally broken right now. Game number 2, series number 2, first period, Ty Smith scores on Leonard. Second period, a no score. We're going to keep simming. We got to do it. I pressed pause, I swear, and it didn't pause. So maybe I just had to press start to jump in the game. Maybe I'll do it a little bit earlier this time. We're going to get it to work, I promise. Vegas has to score to tie the game, though. Which they're not currently doing, so for winning the cup, this is going great. But for what I want, it's not working. And we are going to win 1-0, so no shootout there. Game 3, first period, 2-1 for the good guys. Gensel and the Tank scoring, White Cloud scoring for them. A second period, 3-3, an 8 times speed. I saw Dano scored for us. I think Kessel scored for them. We want no scores. I want to press start. I want to jump in the game. I want a playoff shootout, please. It's been way harder to do than it should be, because I should be able to just jump into a shootout, but apparently you can't. I want to press the pause button, like, right now, and it doesn't pause it. Start. Jump in. We're in. We did it. Did you see that, though? I pressed pause, and it doesn't pause it. That's what screwed me over earlier. Me thinks the game might be unfinished, but that's just my take. We want computer versus computer. I can't control nothing. We're going to watch it. Hopefully no one scores, and I'm going to cut out all of the gameplay until we get to the shootout. But if someone does score, you will see it.
A little later.
Are you serious, Marcia? So why did you score? I was literally not even paying attention. I can't. This is the most cursed. I thought the league was cursed. The video's cursed. We can't even watch a playoff shootout. We're gonna have to change the title to Man Tries to Watch Playoff Shootout Fails Miserably. 9 seconds. No pressure. He's getting fancy with it, and it doesn't work out. Once again, we're missing out on the playoff shootout. And we don't even take a 3-0 series lead. So it's anyone's series now. Game number 4. They're looking to tie the series. We're looking to take a stranglehold of a 3-1 lead. And no score in the first. And no score in the second. And no playoff shootouts in the third. Because that would be too good. I gotta be ready to press the pause button. But not the actual... And they scored anyway. Roy, I was gonna say, not the pause button that pauses the game. But my pause button. So I can jump in. Because apparently you can't pause it. And apparently we're going to lose 1-0. We tied it. One more sip. What? No! What is happening?
This looks neat. I wonder...
I've never been more upset to win again in my life. We scored 2 goals in a minute span in the last 2 minutes of the game. On the bright side, we're 1 game away from moving on to I was going to say the conference finals. I guess it's not the league finals either, because that's the Stanley Cup finals. What would you call it? I guess the playoff semifinals. That's the words we're looking for. I woke up excited to make this video. Watch some playoff shootouts, and we've had like 4 of them, but we haven't seen a single one. We're 1 game away from moving on to the semifinals. First period is 1-0 Vegas. Second period is 3-0 Vegas, so I'm just going to sim the whole game, and they win 5-2. Game number 6, period number 1, 2-1 Vegas. Now I like to see Dano's popping off, though. I do like that. What a great addition for us. Second period, 3-1 Vegas. I will 8 times speed this because there's a chance we tie it, but I'm not liking our odds, which means we'll be going to game 7, and we could potentially lose. 10 minutes remaining. Okay, it's over. Colasar Berries. We lose 6-1. Well, this sucks even more now because we're in game 7, and if we lose, our playoff journey is over. First period, and it's 2-0 Vegas, and it's 3-1 Vegas again. We have a third period, and they get a power play. Apparently a long power play. Sometimes things just don't work out, and this is not working out. Kolasar again, just end it. We lose. We had a 3-1 series lead, and we blew that. We had 3 or 4 opportunities to watch a shootout, and we blew that.
You blew it!
Epic failure. Compared to EA Sim, we only did half as good. The Winnipeg Jets survive and win the most cursed NHL league format of all time. Who had that on their bingo card? Not me. If we're looking at player stats, 11 points for Crosby to lead the team, 10 for Letang, 9 for Malkin, 7 for Danault, and they were all goals, so we led our team in goals for sure. 6 for Raquel, 6 for Russ, 4 for Gensel, 4 for Carter, and 3 for Dumont. And for goals, Danault did obviously lead with 7, Crosby had 5, Letang had 4, Braun had 2, Gensel had 2, Raquel had 2, and then 1 for Russ, Kapanen, and Malkin. Goaltending, Jari, 6 wins, 12 games played, 904 save percentage, 3 goals against average on the dot. Did he score any goals? He sure didn't. Probably not surprised. He probably scored a goal in the playoffs as a goalie, but it would be interesting if they did. Yeah, not a single one. Any points? 3 assists for Fleury, and the only one to get points. 2 more things to look at first. The playoff tree, which looks really weird in this format. Like, really weird. Winnipeg beat Vegas in 7. They beat Boston in 7, and they beat Washington in 5, which is the equivalent of 7. So every series went to the final game, and then they just casually swept the Stanley Cup Finals. Pretty sure it ended up actually still being 8 Eastern Conference teams and 8 Western Conference teams, so that's pretty cool. Our final thing to look at is the awards. We got Winnipeg Jets holding the Stanley Cup, Pasternak with the Art Ross, and the Hart Memorial Trophy. Hedman wins the James Norris, Pasternak wins the Lady Byng, Carrier wins the Calder, Conn Smythe goes to Kyle Connor, who I was assuming was going to win if Winnipeg were to win. Vezina is Shesterkins, which is probably no surprise. William M. Jennings is also his. Luke Shen wins the Bill Masterson Trophy. I like it. Jack Adams is Gunther, I said Gunther, Gunthier, the Washington Capitals coach, because they didn't win the league. Makes sense. Couturier, Frank J. Selke, Ted Lindsay, Pasternak as well. Ovechkin with the Maurice Richard. Well, that was an absolute dumpster fire of an experience for me, but I hope it was entertaining for you. Didn't go as planned. We didn't get to watch a playoff shootout, but at least there was playoff shootouts. Like I said, there's no way of telling if the Stanley Cup Finals had any playoff shootouts because the wins just showed up as wins and not shootout wins. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.